Oh, what a day. Very, very slow day today. Oh, shut up. Stupid ass thing. Oh, God. She's in my head. You're the last thing land for me. Second thoughts of rotten was for rotten and insane. Out with the bam, she's she's in my head. And it's one of my favorite '90s songs, "Lump," by the presidents of the United States of America. So what's happening, y'all? It's May the 5th. May the 4th wasn't, or let's see, May the 4th be with you yesterday. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, there's something about May the 5th being May the 6th or something. I don't know. I don't keep up with all these little fads. People do. Anyway, I don't see anybody in there yet. Saw one person come and go. Better turn this down or I'll get flagged. They don't like background music playing. Well, it's not that they don't like it. People want to claim rights to the music, so then that part of your video gets like bleeped out, and then you can't hear shit, and it's just more of a pain in the ass than it's worth. There's some Oasis. I like Oasis. They're pretty cool. What's happening, y'all? It's fucking Monday. Yay. 4 more days to go. I'm so looking forward to the weekend again already. My weekend this past weekend got spoiled. It rained all day Saturday. And then Sunday was kind of overcast and dreary. So I didn't get shit done this weekend like I wanted to. I would have liked to have gotten out in the yard and done some stuff and mowed my grass and worked on the motorcycle or stuff like that. I got a couple of scooters that I need to get out and clean up the carburetors and stuff. They've been in the building a couple of years now. I haven't ridden them. Anyway, I went to a football game Friday night. That was pretty exciting. So St. Louis Battlehawks played the Arlington Renegades at home. The score was 12-6. It came down to the last series or the last play series or set of downs for the Arlington Renegades. Unfortunately, they fumbled and we recovered, so we won the game. Anyway, I watched football most of the weekend, that UFL, the Spring League football. I don't watch the NFL anymore. The NFL is kind of overrated, and those guys getting paid millions of dollars to play football, and it's really kind of lost its whole competitive nature. When you got a bunch of egotistical bastards in there and they're making millions of dollars each year and they want to whine. Joseph Jacob the Snookabob. Alright, what's happening? You look like you some mental, maybe? Mental about what? I'm not mental about anything. Unlike most of these snowflakes this day, my mental state's pretty good. I don't know what you mean. Hello, Marco. What's happening? Look like you. And some metal music. Oh yeah, I love metal music. I I'm a huge Iron Maiden fan. You know, I listen to all kinds of music, really, but I stick mostly to the metal because the metal says more to me about, you know, who I am. Stuff like that. Hell yeah, me too. I hear you. Megadeth is my second favorite band. I like Megadeth. Some of the newer bands are pretty good. I like Mushroom Head and Sunflower Dead, Raven Black, Anti-Scene, bands like that. I don't know if you're guys, some of these bands you probably never heard of, especially Anti-Scene. They're from Charlotte, North Carolina. And they don't do a lot of touring anymore, but they've been around for 40 years, so look them up. Anti-Scene, Antiseen. I think you like their stuff pretty good. You've been jamming a lot of new heavy metal New Orleans sludge here lately. Yeah, unfortunately. You ever hear of a band called Bag of Donuts that plays down there in New Orleans, Jacob? I like them pretty good. I was down in New Orleans, I guess back in like August or September of last year. Ran across this band. You ain't heard of them? They're local to the New Orleans, Houston area. They travel back and forth a lot, from what I understand. The guy that plays guitar in that band, or maybe he plays bass, but he's got that whole Gene Simmons thing got on, but he's changed the makeup so that it doesn't look exactly like Gene Simmons. They're pretty good. They do a lot of cover stuff, though. You know what I mean? If you look through my videos, I've got a video of them playing. They were at, what was the name of that park? There was some park down there, Liberty Park or something like that in New Orleans. I can't remember. I don't remember that far back about specifics, but I do remember seeing that band and then looking them up on YouTube. They're pretty good. Anyway, so I'm headed home today. It's Monday. It's kind of sunny out. It's been kind of chilly and cold and breezy though today. I don't know, man. It's like, here we are the first week of May, and I'm still having to wear a hoodie in the shop. That's pretty good. You'll check them out. And I'm always looking for new stuff to listen to. Hello, Chance Hicks. How you doing? Yeah, Jacob, there's quite a few new bands that I'll turn you on to real quick. If you got something to write them down. There's a band called Raven Black. They're from up around the Michigan area. There's a band called Sunflower Dead. They're pretty good. I know you've probably heard of Mushroom Head, Death Division, Dope. Let's see, who else do I like? Man, there's so many. Troy's a good band. Troy is local to Springfield, Missouri. Then there's a band called Divine Sorrow. And if you don't catch all these first time around, you can always go back on a replay and replay these bands so that, replay the names of the bands so that you can write them down. They're all really killer bands. Divine Sorrow is from, I'm pretty good, Chance. How about yourself? I'm always looking for new stuff, you know, around local area. The music's pretty big here in St. Louis. There's a couple of pubs that, you know, guys play in that, I know you've heard of Faster Pussycat. There's a guy playing for them right now. His name is Sam Bam Colton. He also plays with a girl named Dorothy. And he finished up a tour with Godsmack not long ago. Well, he's from the St. Louis area, and he got his start. Man, I was watching him when he was 17 years old play guitar. He was a phenom. You should check out Weed Eater. I think I've heard of them. South Carolina. They're real heavy, but have a southern sound. Okay, I'll check them out. My name, read my bio. My name is on my bio. It's in my channel name. But it's Jim. My name is Jim. Golden, McCullen, Junior Team Bolts, number 37. Team Bolts. What is that, the hockey team? It's my birthday today. Well, happy birthday, Gideon McCullen from Jim over here on my, you're from Texas to play guitar and bass in a band. We ain't really trying to be successful or anything, just want to write music. Yeah, that's cool. I played in a band when I was younger, way back when, probably in the, I guess it was probably the mid to late 80s. There was a band I played with called Cellophane Flowers. They were from Charlotte, North Carolina. I don't live in Charlotte anymore, but I do play guitar. But I quit playing, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years ago. I haven't picked up a guitar in that long. I've got too much other stuff going on in my life. But ball hockey. Oh, ball hockey. Okay, Team Bolts 37 ball hockey. Yeah, okay. I don't really know a lot about ball hockey. I know that we have a league here in the St. Louis area. They have a lot of hockey around this area. They just built a place a few years ago called the Centene Iceplex, and that's where Lindenwood College plays their home games. And them and SLU, St. Louis University. They did have the Hardy Center years ago, but it was getting outdated, I guess too expensive to keep it up. So they started this Centene Iceplex. So this place has got 3 ice rinks in it. And then it's got an actual, one of the rinks is probably, I don't know, probably you can fit 1,000 people in there easy. It's a really nice facility. The Blues use it, St. Louis Blues use it to practice. It takes us 2 months to write a song because it's just me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, writing music is, I don't know, man, it's time consuming. I think that's the reason I quit. I did write a couple of original songs that we played, and then I had a girl drummer, her name was Nancy. She was a fucking phenom. And my bassist name was John, but he was a plumber, and his dad owned a plumbing company in Charlotte, so it was kind of a mutual decision. Nancy went off to college, and I quit playing after that. I didn't get in any other bands because back at that point I was just kind of a beginner. I mean, I'd been playing guitar for a few years, but I was nowhere near as good as I should have been. So we used a lot of bar chords and, you know, just regular melodies. You know what I mean? I don't play any scales or any leads or anything like that. So it was just basically jamming. Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of where things are at with me. Like I said, man, if you, I go to a lot of concerts, so there are a lot of music videos posted, the footage that I've actually shot myself. We have a place here called Family Arena, and a lot of the local bands play there, and when they do, they play for free, so they give out free tickets for these shows. The sound quality. Oh, my sound quality is bad. Anyway, they play a lot of local bands around here, and when they give away free tickets, but most of them are like tribute bands. And the thing that's good about tribute bands is that when you go to see some of these guys, you know, there's all these hidden talents that these musicians in these local towns and cities have that unfortunately a lot of times go undiscovered. But anyway, I was telling you that guy Sam Bam Colton, you know, he played for Godsmack and plays with Dorothy and Faster Pussycat. He's from the St. Louis area, and I watched him as a kid. But anyway, so like we have, there's quite a few local bands that, you know, do these tribute shows. Thunderhead is one. They do a Rush tribute. They're really, really good. Then you've got Celebration Day. They do a Led Zeppelin tribute. if you ever get a chance, look up some stuff with a band called El Monstero. They're really good too. They do a Pink Floyd tribute. They put on a hell of a show. Sound quality. The songs we recorded is bad. Oh, okay. The sound quality. So you don't do any mixing or anything? I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time reading because I'm driving and I've got all these dark glasses and it makes things difficult on me. Anyway, and you guys out there want a shout out, I'll give you a shout out. Do me a favor and subscribe. Like my channel or like my video. I've been doing fairly well with subscriptions and stuff. So we're using a old tape recorder. Yeah, I know. I used to, those old tape recorders, they weren't good for like, you know, surround sound or anything. I had one of those Jambox radios, you know, the one you see in the movies the kids carry on their shoulder like this, you know. And I used to record a lot of, you know, guitar playing and stuff on that, and oh, it was horrible. But you know, as time has gone by with you know, Bluetooth and all that, it's really made it a lot easier to record some of this stuff, as far as I know. But yeah, I know what you're talking about with the sound quality being shit for sure. But anyway, yeah, music is a great thing, and I really enjoy it a lot. So I try and go to a lot of these come through. But the Stanley Arena does this really cool thing where they keep your name on a mailing list, and when your name is on a mailing list, what they do is if they have a big like concert, like, you know, Blue Oyster Cult or the Turtles, you know, with that what is that, Happy Together tour or anything like that. I saw Judas Priest, Winger, Warrant, Firehouse, Lita Ford, all for free. They do this promotion where they send out emails, and you enter this contest for front row seats. So if you're the grand prize winner, you know, you get like an autograph session with the band and all that good shit. So, but they do 20 sets of tickets that are runner-ups. So I've got like 4 or 5 different emails I use, and I sign up with each email. So I'm almost guaranteed to have a pretty good chance to win. I usually do. So like in 2023 and 2024, I probably saw, I don't know, 15 concerts or something like that, and was able to go to them all for free. Now they do charge you for parking, which is a pretty good trade-off if you ask me. You know, you get a nosebleed seat to the show for free, which is cool. You know, because like you can keep an eye on the crowd of the seats around the auditorium, and then, you know, like after the first warm-up band is on, if you see empty seats that have been empty throughout that whole thing, you can actually move closer. They don't check your tickets or anything. You're basically just using the ticket that you won to get in the door. So it makes it, so it's a pretty good even swap, you know what I mean? So I had never seen Judas Priest before, and when they came through here, I think it was a Queensryche opened up for them, I believe. So while Queensryche was on, I was watching the auditorium to see where people were sitting, and during the Judas Priest, I got, you know, fairly close, at least a lot closer than I was, so it really made for a good experience. But on my page or on my channel, if you'll go back, I've got short videos and I've got long videos of you know, Godsmack and Judas Priest and Queensryche and a bunch of those older heavy metal and rock bands that I grew up on. And I'm sure you'll, if you like music like I do, then you should enjoy it pretty well. I don't know where my daughter's at today. She's usually on here, blah, 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 daddy this and daddy that. I haven't seen her yet. I'm guessing she might be taking a nap or something. You're in a small town. You ain't got no money, but you do go to concerts. But you just can't. Yeah. Well, that's what I was talking about. Like, I couldn't afford to go to these concerts if I wasn't getting the tickets for free. I learned a long time ago now, at one point, back in, like, I don't know, 2013, 2014, I came into some money, and I was going to every major concert, or at least the bands that I liked anyway. I went to every major music festival. I went to, like, Point Fest and Mayhem Festival and a few of the others that they do. They put on where you've got multiple bands that play for days or whatever. So, and I bet you one summer I probably saw 150 bands play or better. You know what I mean? And but after you go to so many, it kind of, I don't know, it's like it takes away from the excitement now. So I just decided from now on, there's like only 3 bands that I'll go see or pay to go see if they come through town. That would be Iron Maiden, Megadeth, and the Ghost. I like Ghost a lot. They're really good too. So, because the crowds are just, I don't know, man. People got no consideration for other people that love music anymore. They have a tendency to, stand up in front of you and you're trying to watch the show, and you got people who want to fight, and then you got people that, that are constantly back and forth on your aisle during the show. Just kind of make away from the excitement and the pleasure of it. I went to see, it's funny, I went to see Seether back in, I don't know, it was 2017 or something like that. And it was during the Uproar Festival, I believe. And there was a guy, my girlfriend was on one side of me, and there was this guy and his girl on the other side. And he kept dancing. He wanted to, like, bump hips and stuff. And I was like, dude, really? We're at a concert here. I'm not going to dance. I'm a really laid back, kind of cool-headed person. But this guy really pissed me off. So what I did is I told him, look, man, stop. I told him that like 3 or 4 times. Well, there were some empty seats right behind me, and I decided, well, I'll just climb over and I'll sit, on the seats behind me. So this guy, like, starts trying to talk to me and stuff, and he's all getting an attitude. I'm like, dude, I asked you nicely to stop. I don't know how many times. At least you could have done was, respect me a little bit and stop the bullshit. And then he was like, he got mouthy with me, and I got mouthy back, of course. And then his girlfriend put him over on the other side of her. Then he wanted to start bumping hips with the guy on the other side of him. And the other guy got pissed off at him too, and did the same thing I did. He got in the seats right behind. This guy was just really obnoxious, like, to everybody around him. And it just kind of destroyed the whole experience. So, that kind of put a sour taste in my mouth about going to see shows. Usually I would pay the extra money to get really good seats. I'd sit right up front. Like I went to Indianapolis to see Iron Maiden. I was sitting back like 6 rows off the stage, far right, but I still had a great view. And then I went to London, England back in 2012. And saw Trivium and Iron Maiden play at the O2 Arena. And the reason I went to London was because I wanted to go to the Dublin, Ireland show, because I've always wanted to go to Ireland. And but Dublin, they had 2 shows in Dublin a couple of nights before when I went that were both sold out. So I got tickets for the show on Friday night in London, and the show for Saturday night in London. And man, the people in Europe are so much more into the music than the people in America. I don't know what it is. It's like, especially with a band like Iron Maiden, who has the following that they have, like in Central America, man. Central America, if you ever get a chance to watch Rock in Rio, they showed pictures of the crowd, and the crowd moves the whole time. They're all jumping up and down the whole time, the whole show. And that's basically the way it was at the O2 Arena. It was just a wonderful experience. And then I got to meet people from all over the world over there. There was people from Canada, Yugoslavia. There were some people there from Ukraine and Poland. I just all kinds of different people, you know, all coming to one place in the UK. And I was like, blew my mind. I was totally blown by that. And while I was there, I went to their like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That was pretty cool. They had a bunch of stuff, you know, for like the Doors and Jimi Hendrix and Iron Maiden. You know, a lot of the bands that, you know, came from over there, Def Leppard and Uriah Heep, and just a lot of the hosts of the old ones in this place. And it was a really, really cool experience. Like they had like, it was like wax, like a wax museum, and they had all these different wax figures there of these artists and like clothes they wore on the stage and instruments they used, and they gave their history and, you know, their birth dates and death dates and, you know, like their record album sales and, you know, where they stood on the charts. I mean, just a whole host of stuff that, you know, was really educational about each one. And then, but the O2 Arena is actually inside of like a shopping mall. Well, it's not really a shopping mall, but the arena is one part. So it was probably I would say this place probably held 30,000 people, and it was freaking huge. But it doesn't look that big from the outside. But once you get on the inside, they've got like bars and restaurants. There's like a mall area, and that's where the British Hall of Fame is too over there. So you've got the British Hall of Fame. You've got you know, restaurants and places to shop and clothing stores and, I mean, music stores, pretty much anything and everything you can think of, just like if you went to a normal shopping mall, you know. But I went to a place called Covent Gardens, and it was pretty cool. They had like street performers there, and that was a great day there. Then on the way out, see, when we went to Heathrow Airport, when we landed there in Heathrow, and it was like a 45-minute drive or something like that to the hotel over in a place called Canning Town, which is right on the Thames River. And so we rode the river. So I got to see the London Bridge. I got to see Big Ben. But like the highlight of the whole thing for me, because I didn't notice it on the way in, but on the way out, if you notice, if you know anything about Pink Floyd and the album cover from Animals, there's that factory, you know, with the 4 smokestacks on it. You know, the pig is flying over. So I look over to the left, and I'm like, holy shit! There's that building that's on that freaking album cover, and I was freaking out. It was like, I'm trying to hurry to get my camera out. I did get a couple of pictures of it, you know, but we were going like 70 miles an hour. So I didn't really get good pictures of it, but I got to see that place, you know, live and in person. And that's like one of the ultimate things I could think of, you know, being over there. But the culture is so much different in London than it is here. They don't like Americans too much, I can tell you that. Yeah, they're really, some of those people that I met over there were really rude. They have this thing, you know, against Americans for some reason. You and your friend try to make it your own concerts in his kitchen. That's funny. Right on. But anyway, so yeah, man, I was only there for a couple of days. We left St. Louis on Thursday night. We got to London, Heathrow Airport at like 11 o'clock in the morning the next morning. Because it's like a 7.5 hour plane trip from, let's see, we flew out of JFK, which is in New York. And when we got to London, 7.5 hours later, so we took off at night. We left here, it's like 7:30 at night. We had a little bit of a layover in Chicago. We went from Chicago to New York, and then from New York over to Heathrow. And the plane trip was pretty cool because, you know, we were on like one of these jumbo jets, and there were people from all over the world, you know, that were going over to the UK, that were flying internationally. So that was a good experience to be able to meet other people on the airplane going over there. But I've not made it out of the country again since then. Like I said, that was 2012 when I did that. Eventually I'm going to go back over there again. I'd like to see more of my favorite bands, you know, play in that area. Oh shit, they got my exit closed. Wow. I'm not a trip. I guess I usually take an exit right here. They got it closed down for some reason. I'm about to go up here to the stoplight. But anyway, great experience. So I recommend, if any of you guys ever get a chance to go out of the country to see a rock concert, go to London, because London is like, it's the shit, I'm telling you. Wow. Oh, they closed my car wash too. Wow. That's a trip. A lot of things are closing around here. I guess they couldn't afford to keep it open, you know, with inflation being the way it is and everything. But we're not going to talk about politics and shit like that. That's boring, uncalled for. It causes too many problems. Too much controversy for me. No, thank you very much. One wheel Zay. What is a one wheel Zay? What is a Zay? Can you explain that to me, please? That you must be one wheel Zay. Yeah, okay. I gave you a shout out. Do me a favor and subscribe if you don't mind. Hit that like button. Just tap the screen twice. It doesn't take but a second. It would be really cool. I've been on here 32 minutes and I've got no likes on my video. I'm rather upset. Don't worry about it. I'm not really. You know, a lot of people ask me, you know, like when I do these videos, people that know me, they're like, well, you know, what pleasure do you get? Do you get any money for that? And I'm like, no, I don't really care about the money. The money's no big deal to me. I just do this to run my mouth while I'm driving because it takes away from the monotony of driving in St. Louis area. These people are fucking nuts out here on the road. So it keeps my mind occupied. Believe it or not, I can pay attention to the road a little better, stuff like that, except for like when I'm looking over at the phone to see who's commented. But I had a guy on here named Jacob. I don't know whether he's still here or not. And then there was a couple other people up here. I guess they left. They got bored with my conversation. Gideon and Chance. And looks like Jacob's, I don't know if Jacob's still around or not. But anyway, yeah, one wheel Zay. Can you explain to me what a Zay is, please? I'm like new. I'm not really up on the lingo of the new generation. Oh, what a day. It's gotten like kind of dreary out since I've been driving home. Not really sure if we're supposed to get some weather again tonight or not. Oh, you just returned. Okay, well that's cool, Jacob. Anyway, I don't really have anything planned this evening. I'm hoping maybe to get my grass mowed because I was supposed to do it Saturday. But I don't know if anybody was in here earlier. I was talking about it raining all day Saturday, and then Sunday it was still too wet and it was kind of overcast and dreary, so I didn't get to do anything Sunday either. But the sun's been out a few times. It hadn't been real cold here. I think it's like 59 degrees out. Here it is the first week of May and it's only 50 degrees. Jesus Christ. I'd give anything to move back to the Carolinas, take my house and go to the Carolinas. You know what I mean? The weather there is already in the 70s and 80s. I really miss that. I miss the Carolinas real bad because I lived in Charlotte, and like on a Saturday or Sunday morning, if I wanted to do something during the day, I could just, you know, it was 2.5 hours to the beach and it was 2.5 hours to the mountains. So I could do either or, and you know, it was a good trip usually. Or I'd go to the beach and stay the night, you know what I mean, and then come back the next day, or even stay all weekend. But I do the same thing. I'd go backpacking and hiking and and stuff like that, and camping out overnight in the mountains of North Carolina off the Blue Ridge Parkway, which is a really, really nice area. And but after that hurricane went through up there, a lot of that area is now totally destroyed, you know, and it's a shame that so much beauty went to waste. Anyway, so I'm having to take a different way home than I usually go. Usually I would be home by now. They got my exit closed that I usually take. I guess they're doing some road work. I know that bridge is looking pretty bad, so they might be getting ready to redo the bridge on the road that I was on. It's an overpass, so I go back underneath the bridge and go home. This way takes a little longer, but it's a pretty nice little trip. It's not too bad. I enjoy the drive. It's kind of a scenic route, you know. But anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to do this evening. It just kind of depends. I really need to get out. I've got a couple of scooters, like I was talking about earlier, that I bought. They're 49cc's, and those things, if you don't ride them all the time, because of the fuel lines and the jets and the carburetors and those things are real small, so they get gummed up real easy, and they don't like gas when it starts going bad. So I need to drain the tanks and take the carburetors off and clean them up real good, and then put them back together. Well, that too depends on kind of what I'm doing once I get home, or anything else I need to do. I really would like to get my grass mowed, but I really don't think that's going to happen today. I guess I'll just wait and see. Guys, excuse me a minute. I'm going to take a drink. I know this is not good etiquette, but I got to take a drink. I've graduated to these Ghost drinks. These things are pretty good. I used to drink a lot of Monsters and Red Bulls and Bang and drinks like that, but they've got some chemical in them that starts with a C, cyanide something or other, and that stuff's not good for you. They say it's vitamin B, but that's bullshit. It's what it is. I watched a video on it. They're talking about how it's like, you know, sludge out of sewers. What they do is they heat it up and like burn it or something, or I don't know, purify it somehow. But I still don't want to drink sewer water, you know what I mean? So I quit drinking those things. So these Ghost drinks don't have it in that stuff in them, or if they do, it's not listed. But these are pretty good. These are really grapey. I like the grape. I got the grape, the pink lemonade, and the I think it was strawberry mango or something like that. It's pretty good too. I haven't seen my daughter in here yet. Anyway, I'm about 3 minutes from my house. I'm going to be cutting it once I get there. I got Wi-Fi in my house, but I don't have Wi-Fi in my truck. So when I get close to my house, the Wi-Fi connection tries to switch over from the phone, the 5G, over to my router in the house. So my Wi-Fi in the house usually kills the video or interrupts it for a minute, and then, you know, once it switches over. Well, sometimes I'll sit and continue to talk for a few minutes. Sometimes I don't. Not really in the mood to do that today. So I think once I get home, I'm going to cut it off. If I get home in one piece, these people in front of me don't want to drive for shit. Excuse me. Whew. I had leftover steak and taters for lunch today. It was pretty good. I got a little bit of burping going on. I know that's not good etiquette, but you know, it's my video and I can do things like that because it's my video. Right on. Anyway. Well, I didn't get to see my daughter today. She's my daughter and I, we don't get along very well. well, we haven't been here, in the past, I don't know, 6 months or so at least anyway. She's trying to find herself, and she's out there in the world trying to make her way. And father, when they see their kids screwing up, and then lying about their progress and things, it kind of pisses you off. So I've been kind of pissed at her and haven't really been in touch with her too much. Yeah, dude, there's a stop sign there, dumbass. These fucking people, I swear. Anyway. So, I haven't really been talking to her much, but she stalks my YouTube channel because that's the way she gets to talk to me. So, that's without me picking up the phone and calling her and stuff. Anyway. Alright, guys and gals. Well, this is it. I'm going to say top of the evening to you. We'll get on in here in the house. I just pulled in my driveway, put this sucker in park, and I'm going to end my day. I guess maybe, I don't know, it's not too bad today. I might get out here and mow my yard. It really needs it. But anyway, I want to thank everybody that stopped in. I want to thank you for stopping in today. If you would do me a favor, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button. That would really help me out. Not financially or anything, because I don't have enough people on my channel to even make a difference anyway. And I'm not getting monetized for this, and I could give a shit less about getting monetized. It's just about me sharing my thoughts and feelings. Listen to me. I'm talking like a psychologist. I'm here to share my feelings. Shit. Anyway, you guys take it easy. Peace to you as always, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as I can. All right, have a good one. And if you want to catch me later, I'm usually on about the same time every day, between like 2:30 and I don't know 3:10 or something like that. That would be Central Time. You guys have a good one. Take it easy. Peace.